From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. There's soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Scriptchuck. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
I'm going to be your host for about the next 6 seconds. My name's Bill. They're going to take over. I'm out of here. Who else is hosting? All of you.
I'm Vicki.
I'm Jen.
I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Audra.
And I'm out of here because they're going to take over. Anyway, we're here for the official 100%. This is the Thompson Race Review. Ladies, how'd it go?
Oh my God. It was amazing.
It was amazing. We didn't do too bad.
No.
Great.
Audra, you were the champ, and you
were busting it.
Audra advanced us 7 positions in her Sunday outing, and she came within a second and a half of fastest time for the group, which is pretty
Wow, that is pretty good.
We're still trying to figure out how you did
that.
that.
I got that close to Vicky's times, and Jen's times. Like that amazed me. I didn't expect that at all, because the whole time I was out there just holding on to that steering wheel, going, "Okay, don't die, don't die." Right, fight so hard. Oh crap! Wait a minute! Oh, there's another guy.
Well, the thing is, you got your time like a true autocrosser. You had all your times. We're all within like a second or two of each other, except for when there's yellow flag and traffic and stuff. And then you just had this one little miracle lap all by itself. Nothing ever near it. You just went, oh yeah, I can do this too. I'm not going to do it again, but I can do it one time.
When I was out there on Sunday, after I looked at my times, my issue is I don't know the feeling of speed. So that's my issue. And my best lap, which was still quite a few seconds off of the Vicky's and Jen's and Audra's lap.
You were close on Saturday, though.
No, I didn't look at Saturdays. But Sunday, I was chasing someone, and they were probably around the same times as I was. And I was chasing them, and that lap felt so great, but I couldn't get a hold of you.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wanted to know what my time was because it felt like such a great lap time. And the Apex Pro was pretty good. I mean, I didn't have many reds, and I was really, trying to keep it all green. And I ended up passing them, which was like a major accomplishment for me. But I think that was my fastest time. And then I would have liked to know that, because then I knew where I had gone slow and hesitated, and I would have not done that. I would have had my foot to the floor. But I don't know. That's my issue. Once I feel speed, then I'm fine.
Yeah. So let's back this up just a little bit.
Wait a minute. Wait. We're gonna do data
you want
right
to start
now
from the beginning?
Sorry. So Vicki led the 4 ladies, but you were all within a second and a half of each other, which is really, really close. Like all of your fastest times within a second and a half. Audra's never been there. Elizabeth's been a while. Jennifer, that's as close as you've ever been to Vicki. I think as far as the racing goes, you guys were so much better than what I was expecting going in, and you guys were all right there with each other. You guys are a really solid team.
I have to say, the seating, I was telling Audra that she was going to be so sore and couldn't move, and honest to God, I didn't feel it at all. And I've left track where I couldn't lift my arms the next day, and it was great. I mean, that truck, I just felt so comfortable driving it. What did you guys think?
My hands were sore and swollen for 3 days. I think it was the death grip, though.
Yeah,
had nothing to do with that truck at all.
So just so we can just kind of roll it back a little bit. Audra is a seasoned autocrosser and an autocrosser instructor. So, and Elizabeth is a endurance racer light. So she's been on the track, twice, but you've also autocrossed for a while. So Elizabeth has had a taste of endurance, and now we just had to drag Audra in. So I think I want to touch on your experiences, first of all, at Thompson, but I'm really curious about Audra.
And Elizabeth getting back to it.
Right. What did you expect going into it? And then what was it like on track?
So I had lots of people trying to prepare me for being out there. I did an HPDE at Thompson a couple months ago, and my instructor the whole time, I told him the reason that I was there was I was preparing because I was going to do lemons. And he, gave me advice the whole time. He sent me, this is so nice. Like, this is so nice. His name is Matthew. I can't remember his last name at the moment, which is terrible. He sent me an email like 2 days before lemons with all of these things, like, stay consistent. And how nice is that, right?
That is nice.
That's that.
Matthew, we've got stickers for you. Just let us know.
About a week before the lemons, was it maybe 2 weeks? All blends. I went to Club Motorsports up in Tamworth, New Hampshire, and my instructor there, he normally does lemons. And the whole time that we were doing that track, he was coaching me for lemons, which again was like so awesome. So I thought I had some idea, like be consistent, Derek White was there. He was driving the Fiero, the white Fiero. That's his team. I forgot the team name.
I think he bumped me.
Oh no.
Somebody bumped me in a little car. No, it might be
one of his teammates.
Maybe. I don't know. Some little car bumped me.
Isn't he Rusty Terry Racing?
Yes, that's it. So he reminded me that a couple of years ago we were talking about lemons, and I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. I'll never do that. And then here I am at lemons, right? He gave me a bunch of advice before we went out, but nothing really prepares you. Once you're out there and all of a sudden you have, the pack of fast cars coming around you and you're being passed on both sides. And there's any line that you thought you were going to follow, or you don't know where safe is. You're just like holding on, trying to keep straight and not bump into anybody. And, as people coming around you, like the dive bombing. Yeah, that was something fabulous.
That was
really
nice.
New and different.
So Audra, how many times? Audra, how many times were you passed when you were autocrossing in all your years of autocrossing? How many cars passed you?
Let's see. That would be 0.
Oh, okay. So perhaps more cars passed you this weekend than in your prior autocross history.
In the first 3 minutes of being out there, more cars passed me than ever in my life.
Than on the street.
On the street, right?
So did you, at some point on the track, did you have confidence?
Saturday I was just really trying not to die and trying not to throw up in my helmet. And I really didn't want to poop in this borrowed suit. So, there was all of that going on. Well, Friday and Saturday, right? So it's kind of a combined thing. Yeah. On Sunday, though, the field cleaned out a little bit. So there were not as many cars. There were still these giant packs of really fast cars that would come and surround me. And I would just hold on for dear life and keep steady and try not to do anything stupid. But there were times in between, like after they had all passed me, that I would be alone for a little while and I could drive the line. And it was really like, I'm like, oh, look at this. This is fun. And then there were a couple, I actually passed a couple of cars myself and I was cheering, and that's when the radio wasn't working. I'm like all cheering to myself.
So
it was fun.
So do you think it was a good idea or unnecessary for us to kind of set you up on Saturday with a short one to get started?
I think that was a really good idea. I don't think I would have needed longer than I did. When I came in on Saturday, I was completely convinced that I was about to throw up. So it was having a short one to get used to it before we went any longer. Definitely was helpful. And thank you for lending me some C-bands. That helped also, I'm sure.
And how about the Friday did that help you also? The Friday practice?
The Friday practice, I think on Saturday, I might not have gotten in the car without the Friday practice. Like the Friday practice was really critical because there was only a few cars out there. So I get used to your truck. You know, I did some stupid things on Friday that I didn't do on Saturday. So that was good. Got, you know, kind of the idiocy out of me. Did flat spot a couple of your tires. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Expected.
What about you? What about you, Elizabeth? Was Friday helpful to you? You hadn't been on the track in a little bit, and you definitely hadn't been in a trophy truck on the racetrack before. Was it useful for you to get out there Friday, or maybe the track walk? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I haven't. I've only done probably one. I think in the last 3 seasons, maybe one full track day. So I really haven't done anything, and those were with my 944 that had issues. But
it's almost a truck. This close.
The track walk was amazing. And that was Saturday night. And on Sunday, I felt so confident. Right? Saturday night was the track walk? Yeah.
Friday night, I think.
Friday night was a track walk.
Friday night was a track walk. I just felt much more confident. I really am happy that track walk was amazing to me, because I really didn't know that there was a couple of hills going into turn 1. I really never knew there was an incline there. And that caused, you know, then I knew I could go faster and brake deeper with that truck anyways. And that was really nice. And also the different lines going into, I don't know what turn it is. I don't know the numbers. The one near where you have to, going into the S's to get to the front straight. That was
the transitions, when they explain the transitions.
Yeah, I mean, I hit that really, and I was really, really trying to not lift, or to stay like my foot down. That's one thing I noticed is my foot is, even on the front straight, my foot isn't to the floor, and I was hesitating, and it needs to be on the floor. I need to be all in. And so I worked on that when there wasn't crowds of fast cars around me. But going into that turn, that was just such a great line that we walked on the track. I was so happy for that. And I think I hit that transition every time, and it was probably not every time, but I really tried to hit that transition, and it was really eye-opening. It felt great. It really felt great. I started to really feel the track and really feel comfortable driving it. If I had another, couple hours, I really would have been, I think I really would have been faster in that truck.
So also, Audra, was the track walk helpful to you?
Yeah.
Did you understand what they were trying to explain?
I did. And that it was very helpful. And there were points where they stopped and actually had people like scrape their sneakers over lines to feel like, see how sticky it is here, and it's not sticky at all here, because that's where you need to be. And that's all, the accumulated rubber. That was kind of illuminating as well. It was very helpful. It's like Elizabeth said, you don't notice like these small inclines when you're just driving. And the first time I had been at Thompson, it was 43 degrees and torrential rain. So I didn't notice much of like the real surface of the track.
Yeah, it was, I've walked tracks before, but for whatever reason, it was really a nice walk. Just everyone who was instructing or telling us, kind of what they do and what's faster for them. And they were really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
And the arguments too, when they were kind of having the discussions back and forth of, well, I will do this and I would do that. When you're out there and you get to try when you weren't surrounded and about to die, when you get to try things, I remembered some of those and actually tried the different lines. So rare occasions of being alone.
They were really good, because I really enjoyed that too. The discussion. One person has I've done track walks where it's kind of like, all right, this is what you do, not what I do, not what you might do in a different car. This is what you all in this group, no matter what you're driving, this is what you do. And it never felt comfortable for me or in a slower horsepower car or whatever. But this was interesting because everyone was, or the ones that were instructing us were giving their point of view and why they do the line that they do and when they do it. And I really felt that was so helpful.
I enjoyed the three pedal mafia. It's three pedal mafia. Chrissy Abbott, Chrissy Matura, Chris Abbott, and Jeff Wakeman, and they do talk about the nuances of the track and the reaction that your car will have in those certain spots. So, and even what your car would do to an incline, and just the detail of that. It's them explaining the why versus just walking the track saying, this is what you should do. This is where you should be, not why you should be there.
Right. That was really, you guys, thank you so much. I'm sure they'll listen to this and me, but they were just great. I really enjoyed that. Just knowing where the track was sticky, just, feeling it with your foot and knowing where it was off camber and showing us why it's off camber. I mean, it really was very good. It really helped.
Did you guys have any favorite areas of the track or any tricky areas that you maybe an area you never quite figured out during the weekend?
I think corner 3 going into the
hairpin.
Into the hairpin. No, going into the oval. Is that corner 3?
Going under the bridge?
No, the one before that.
6.
I think it's 5. It doesn't matter. It's one before
3
that.
going on to the
We
oval.
need a track map.
Yeah, right.
I would be prepared for a podcast. We can't do that.
Under the bridge too. Although I did the double apex, that felt more comfortable to me.
I was doing the double apex.
Yeah.
I like that too. I was doing the V, and a lot of people were doing the V.
Yeah.
So that
I don't think that's what we were taught. We're Audra, do you remember what when you did your the Porsche track day? I don't think they teach the V, the double apex.
He didn't teach it as a double apex, but in effect, that's what we were doing. But he didn't use that term for it.
Okay.
So that was pretty familiar to me.
I like that way.
So did either of you have any aha moments when you were on the track? Like, oh, this is really working for me and I can really do this.
Or maybe a skill you said, oh, I can do this now.
Right.
Well, the corner definitely down the straight, corner 1, I really felt I could go much deeper. I was less hesitant because I had done that track walk and I know that there was grip there. And I was very, very pleased with the truck and how I drove that. I think I drove it pretty quickly, but I don't really know.
Your top speed there was right in line with everybody else's. It was actually faster than Vicki most of the time.
That was I used to be very nervous on that, but not anymore. It's not.
That's the area I'm working on. Yeah. I have a really bad issue with lifting at this. That's my weakest point in my racing is straightaways. Yeah. You wouldn't think so. Well, just because people are like, oh, it's just going fast. I'm like, yeah, but just the braking part at the end that freaks me out.
Well, I noticed my foot wasn't to the floor, and I was like, well, what am I doing? Like my foot should be on the floor. Like this is where I should be on the floor, and I wasn't. And I'm like, wait, I'm in a race. I'm not doing DE. This is a race.
Has anybody ever told you that, Jen? Your foot should be on the floor, maybe? She's on mute.
You're muted. You're muted, honey.
It's coming.
There's a lot of noise going on around here. Yes, somebody did say my foot needed to be on the floor, but guess what?
What?
It was.
That's right, baby. That's right. You almost hit triple digits. And to get that brick of a truck doing 100 miles an hour, you got to be hoofing it for a little bit. So
yeah. So what about you all? Did you have any growth or aha moments way out there? You were doing awesome.
Yeah.
You
really
surprised the out
I
of me.
want to edit.
It was a lot more fun than I expected it to be. I think that was the biggest aha. Because I was actually having fun. You know, once I got used to it and I stopped being so scared, it was a good time. The other things though, like as far as driving, you know, the things that I have been working on, being on the track, trying not to brake as soon, apex late. So, which is weird. In autocross, I'm always late. You know, if I have a flaw, it's always that I'm turning too late. And with the track stuff, I'm always turning too early. So I was working on that and working on, you know, not braking as hard is definitely something that I need to
There's the brakes grab.
A lot of work on. Those brakes are awesome.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it was really, really, it was really fun. I'm so happy that Audra, you love it. And what did I tell you? You're going to love this. You're going to be my girl. You're going to be my track girl. You're going to love it.
I thought she was going to break our helmet because she was smiling so hard that it would just
every
crack
time
on
she
the bottom.
came out, she just had the biggest grin on her face. So how about the inputs for you? Were any of the inputs the most overwhelming part for you? Do you have did you have any issues with inputs, or did you have any just issue with your spatial awareness, or what was probably one of the most difficult things for you to experience?
Oh, so for me, I had never worn a Hans before. And that lack of motion was very new to me. Because, you know, in autocross, we teach you need to have your head all the way turned and you're looking all the way around that next corner. That's not possible when you have that Hans device on. You have very limited motion. So that was a lot to get used to.
And Thompson, I think, is unique because it has that one corner where you have to like look so far around.
Right? It's really sharp there.
Yeah.
You almost have to scout and turn forward when you're going into it before you get to it. Kind of peek around while you're still not even to it yet.
So yeah, I really appreciated it when you were on the radio telling me, oh, you have, 3 cars on your right, watch out, coming in, because I couldn't, at times you can't see them because you're not turning enough, like you can't turn enough to see.
Yeah.
You really, when you're working, especially in endurance racing, you have to train your peripheral vision, and actually you're sensing, in a sense, in such a way that that there's cars on either side of you. You've caught a glimpse of it, and they could dive bomb you. Well, not dive bomb you. They could try to pass. Like, that they were following you in on the straightaway, and they're right on your tail. So you saw them there on your right and maybe on your left. So it's almost like you have to use your peripheral vision, but you also have to use that sense of they could do it. So I have to be aware that they're there, and then try to, because in our endurance racing, they train us because we can't turn, they train us to use the peripherals as best as we can, and then depend on your mirrors.
Audra and I talked about that there was a blind spot, and we both said, I knew that black car was there. I knew it was there because it was there a second ago. I don't know where it is, but I know it's right next to me in the spot that I cannot see.
And it's usually right around that sharp hairpin turn, where it's almost like a bottleneck where everybody's trying to crunch in there, and they're trying to make their move before they all kind of go up underneath that bridge. And that's one thing I kept trying to have to do. And I, I knew that it was there, so I would leave the space because they were trying to make the pass. And if I cut them off, then I risk spinning and hitting them. So,
yeah. And then they would dive bomb you. Sorry, Bill.
No, it's just saying you almost have to try to continuously memorize who's around you, especially if you're in one of the slower cars. And that gets tiring towards the end of the stint,
Well, doing 3 wide under that bridge is tough because they were forcing 3 wide under that bridge, which is, in my opinion, unnecessary, but because we were obviously slower than those fast cars. But I guess they wanted to get on the straight before the other fast cars.
Exactly, they did.
But I just think 3 wide, and that it wasn't necessary.
So in a sense that since we are talking about the traffic, did you get a sense of it being a team sport? Not just from us, but from other drivers on the track. I mean, they weren't trying to be jerks, but they were just more advanced drivers. But did you get the sense of it still being a team? Like they were still being respectful of you there. Some of them were still waiting for a point by. Some of them were still, I mean, did you get that sense at all?
Yeah, but Audra and I there was a couple cars that definitely dive bombed, and it was a little bit irritating. But I knew, we both agreed on the cars, so it wasn't just me. But mostly, even the 3-pedal mafia guys, like I would give them point buys. Like we knew who the fast ones were, and and I got a wave, thank you, and it was nice. I know nobody wants to hit anyone. It's just there was a couple of dive bombers that it was irritating.
Yeah, it happens.
That was a nice way to put it.
Jen loves dive bombers. That's her favorite.
Audra and I had a conversation, I guess, when she came in Friday, and I did just let them go.
Yeah.
When people come up and they start, acting crazy and wanting to get by, just let them go. Like,
oh yeah,
no,
absolutely.
I mean? Wave them on by. And once you do kind of get all those people by you, you can relax a little bit, and you kind of have the track to yourself. But yeah, I don't care for dive bombers, but it just is what it is. So you just kind of get around it, let them go, and go on with your day, because ultimately it's a number of laps, right? It's not that particular moment in that particular race on that particular day. So I
just remember this one time Audra's going down the front straightaway, and I was kind of scouting for her a little bit, and there was nobody there. And I told her, I'm watching, I'm like, Audra, you got nobody there, just relax, open your hands up. And then I look down to my left and I see the rest of the cars coming in. It's Betty, it's Amanda, it's Austin Wires. I'm like, just relax for about half a half a lap. But you got a whole bunch of fast cars coming right behind it. So breathe, relax. It's going to be busy for the next 5 minutes. So
I enjoyed watching. Like I knew what car Amanda was in. I don't know if it was Amanda driving, but I enjoyed watching those fast cars because we started to get to know them, and really I learned a lot watching them pass me. But I learned a lot. Like they really are very aggressive but respectful, and I definitely learned that from watching them.
The nice key about that is that when you see them is, for in Audra's sense, that jump in behind them when they pass you and follow them for as long as you can and watch what they do and keep up. And that's how I learn, watch where they're braking, watch what they're doing. And then until they move on, and then until they come back around again, because they're very, very smart and they're very strategic in how they race. They're putting their cars in certain places for an advantage, and they're passing offline or they're passing online, and they're using other cars around them to get an advantage. So they use strategy, also speed. So it's very interesting watching them when they come through.
Yeah, it's racecraft that will come eventually.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were trying to explain Friday and into Saturday was, don't worry about the fast cars. They know how to pass you. They won't be there very long. Just drive the line.
Right.
They'll pass you. If you're not on the line, they'll pass you on the line. If you're on the line, they'll pass you offline. Don't worry about it. Just drive and just be predictable. And that's all they really want,
Yeah. I did give pass bys because at one point, one of the fast drivers was hanging back because I think he thought I was going to take the line, and I went offline and gave him the pass. Like, you take the line because, your fast buddy just passed me. So you just go get him.
Yeah. Yep. So, Miss Elizabeth, you've done this before, so you kind of knew a little bit about what you were getting into off the track. Miss Audra, you may have been prepared for the driving. You may have been going to HPDEs. You may have had people tell you how to drive. Did anyone prepare you for the non-track part aspects of
You mean
this
the
race?
abject chaos? No.
yes.
So everything else I've gone to, and yeah, of course you come in and you have your little grid spot and everybody's nicely lined up. We even have like little paint spots right now because of COVID that you have to park in between so that it's, you're 6 feet away, and it's very orderly.
It's almost the same.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe just the chaos of it all and the people, and just, there was no rhyme or reason to it. You drive around and you're like, there's some guy sleeping like in the middle of the street. I don't know. It's set up everywhere.
There's a hot tub.
And people don't look. It's really crazy. So you're coming in off the track and you're trying to get back to the garage spot, and there's people just like randomly walking in front of you. The first time I came in on Friday, I almost took out a lady because she wasn't looking at all, and she just walked right in front of the truck. It scared the crap out of me, and she just kept walking like nothing. I needed that panic attack.
There's a guy in a dress.
Coming in. Guy in a dress. Yeah. There was that. There was hot tubs and all kinds of foolishness going.
There's no hot tubs at autocross events. Is that what you're saying?
I've never seen one. No, I think we need to add that as a feature. But yeah,
you don't really have those. If you have any kind of penalties, you have to do something stupid.
No, usually if people screw up that bad, we just throw them out.
We'd run out of people if we did that, so we got to keep them.
So believe it or not, is that it does look like chaos, but it's more organized than you think it is.
It's controlled chaos.
It's controlled chaos. Yeah, it is organized chaos. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing, and except for the person that walked in front of your truck. On your stint, there is quite a bit of movement that happens around, and that's usually because of how the parking was set up. And Thompson is small. Mm-hmm. It's really small. It's usually not that crazy at other tracks, but Thompson is unique in its way that they're just so limited on space. But because of the endurance racing, and if you think about it, some of those people are out there racing for 2.5 hours a stint. And then a lot of those people, racing is part of it, but the evening is where the work is. And the work can go up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then they have to drive.
Or all night.
And that's
you have to.
Right. They'll do all-nighters. They call them like I think one evening we watched somebody totally install a new engine.
Yeah.
They had to do the whole engine, and like the whole team was out there scrubbing the inside of this engine so they can get it all in there. And then they have to drive. And that's why you see the people that are just sleeping, during the day, because they've just put in the all-nighter. And then endurance itself takes a lot of, it's a beat on your body. It really is. And it's mentally exhausting if you're in there for like 2.5 hours because of it's fun. But then you get out, you're just like, oh my gosh, it's like, I think I need to go take a nap, So, but anyway, the after work, did you anticipate the amount of work that was going to take place after the car was done?
I had heard enough about that it was not a surprise to me. So walking around and seeing everybody, first of all, prepping their cars on Friday and then doing the work afterwards, that wasn't surprising at all. It was kind of amazing to see Alan pulling out the welder. He's like welding things right there, trying to get the SpiderStang ready to race.
On top of
That
the
was
gas
impressive.
tanks.
That was really impressive.
Tanks.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he had the grinder out, I think. Yeah, but yeah.
Right on top of the gas cans.
Audra, Vernon, who did that small video for us, that was really nice of him. That was really a great little video.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. And it just showed what tech is all about and how much fun we had. That was really nice. And, people were asking me, what are you bribing for? And I said, personally, I was bribing just so I could win something. Like I was just bribing just to win. just
We're
to
not,
win an
Elizabeth's
argument.
not competitive at all.
You know, all I had was a ring pop and a t-shirt, and I won. So like, it didn't matter what we were arguing for. I just wanted to win.
We
an
were
argument.
trying to get out of B and put back in C,
Yeah.
and we got into C.
I mean, I was thinking about it. I think if you win your class, you should stay in the class, but maybe give you 10 laps or something. Because then all the C cars will be together. All the B cars would still be together. You know, maybe if you win a second time, you get 50 laps, which is like really hard to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's going to, you know, now you move up to B. Well, you're not really a B car. You're kind of, so will you ever win B? Maybe if the other B cars don't show up. You know?
No, but I think what they're doing is they're advancing the team, not so much the car. So,
but
so
if the team brings a different car, then they're gonna. If they bring a C car, then they're gonna. Is the team still gonna be in B if they bring a different car?
they'll move us to B, but we won't be able to advance out of it. So it's kind of like both ways. It's like we are advancing as racers, although our car is not. So we would bring another car.
Oh, then we would step up to a B car.
We would step up to a B car and then to an A car. So you're actually raising, more than you're raising the car, is you're raising the team. So that's what I think. You become better skilled drivers, but the car will never advance out of B. It's just not built for that.
But I think if you can have good teams with a C car, now it would be C would become, you would be competitive with other more advanced C drivers, right? C cars, not necessarily drivers. I don't know.
I think what we need to do, we get all the trucks together. We each throw in like $10. Best truck wins.
Well,
Tony, I'm always hunting trucks.
That V8 truck was fast.
It was.
That wasn't a C truck.
Turned out we had a friend in that truck. Who knew? He shaved his beard. We had no idea who he was. Who's that guy? No idea.
So we also went into the garage and we did garage work. Elizabeth.
And
Audra. And Audra. Yes.
And
yes. So your takes on garage work.
I think you and I work very well together. I think we could have figured out what the issue was, but you caved. Sorry.
Well, I didn't. Yeah,
because we were because we
called you out.
She did, right?
I'm gonna say this. We initially thought it was electrical, and then we talked about it quietly, and we said it has to do with heat. It has to do with turning us, to the left, right to the left. And it has to do with heat, so it has to be, and we think it's electrical, which we didn't know, but we thought it was like, so I started underneath the car, and it ended up being electrical in the engine compartment. And you know what, I wish I hadn't left early on Friday, because I would have got from underneath the car to the check where the exhaust manifold was, and that's exactly where it was. So I know, Vicki, I have confidence that in you, because you're great, that we would have figured it out without any input from the male.
Oh man, listen to her.
I know we would have figured it out. We just needed to. We need to go away from everyone, you and I, and sit in the trailer and just kind of.
Yeah, I think the only issue is with that is that, time is money. And the diagnosis part. Well, they found it faster than I would have, and I think that was the key. Is that
we would have found it.
Yeah,
they didn't find it fast. They actually took the car out for like 2 test drives, and it was electrical. So the guy who found it was so quiet. He came over and he's like, "Yeah, I think it's right here," and it was. It
ended up being the wire harness.
Yeah.
So
it was hitting the exhaust when we went left.
Yeah, it was hitting. Yeah, somewhere on the engine. Yeah, it was hitting the engine.
Exhaust.
Oh.
Yeah, the manifold. Right. So Vicki, we had it. I'm so mad.
We had it,
but we both lost confidence
Yeah.
in ourselves.
Yeah. That's the whole budding part of it, but I'm
I
getting
know.
there. I'm getting there.
No, we're both getting there. I was so happy. Like we kind of figured it out. We didn't.
Yeah.
I was
But
happy
but you
about
know
that.
what? We did, you know, I would say we probably did about 85% of the wrenching ourselves.
It was great. I
Yeah.
loved it.
I you know, so that was good.
Yeah.
And you know, while they were, you know, working on the electrical part, you and I did the oil cooler.
Yeah.
So we got that straightened out, put that on. And that evening, I believe Elazar helped me with the wiring.
Yeah.
To get that wire up there properly because he's an electrician. So I got a quick lesson
Yes.
out of him.
Oh no,
that.
he was great. He was so
Yeah.
helpful. Yeah.
And I,
really.
you know, I just don't know electrical. So it was good that he, you know, I got some quick lessons on just how to kind of wire
Patch
things up
things
with.
up.
Yeah. So that was good. But we do really appreciate, you know, everybody that gave us some helpful tips.
I know. I'm
Extra part here or there, and
It
for
was
actually
great.
standing back and letting us, you know, kind of work.
It was
So.
great. I think we worked well together as
Mhm.
mechanics.
And the other thing too is like I really appreciate the autocross aspect of it because I was like, hey, you know, we got tires, we got air pressures, and I tell you, Audra just pulled all that stuff out and she just went to town. She goes, I know this. She goes, I know. She's like, I know this part. I'll do this.
I was so happy I could make a contribution.
Yeah. So that was good.
Audra, do you want to tell them the debrief that we talked about with and it is directly related to
Yeah.
autocross?
Well, actually, I was going to mention that. So first, I have a question though. You gave me tire pressures to set, and I did that exactly to what you gave me. Was that supposed to be the cold pressure or the hot pressure?
Cold.
So the cold pressure. So we never throughout the
Yeah.
day actually
Mm-mm.
checked the tire pressures.
No, we
And
did
I
not.
noticed on my last run, I'm like, wow, this is feeling really slippery. You know what? I bet these tires are overinflated because
Yeah,
I'm
me
not getting
too.
the grip that I expected.
Yeah.
And yeah,
We talked
I
about
bet that's
that.
what it was. And we brought an air tank too, so we could
Yeah.
monitor that. And the thing is that everything is so flippin' fast paced
mm,
that it's those little things that you don't think about until it's like, oh my God, we really need to do that because you're just flipping people in and out. So you're right. We probably should have started off probably, you know, a couple, you know, tire pressure levels lower.
Because
and
the
then sit
pressure
down.
that we started with should be the hot pressure. And
Right.
yeah. And Audra and I were saying when I would co-drive in autocross, it's fast paced. You come in, if you co-drive, you really only have a couple of minutes before the second person goes out, and you'd have to jump out, check pressures, get them to where they should be, and the next person goes back in. So it's really hurry up and wait, really, with autocross, but especially if you're co-driving, it's very fast.
Yeah, and we do not have, once that truck goes out, unless it comes back in to the paddock area, we are not allowed to even touch those tires.
Right.
You know, it's gas only, and that's it.
Because I'm sure they were up in the 40s because of 90-degree weather. And at the point, like when Audra got in, the car had been out there, you were almost 2 hours, you know, had been out there almost 4 hours. And then Audra went in an hour and a half, and then I got in, and it was sliding around. I'm like, it's slick out here, but it should be grippy, right? Because of all the rubber. And we were just debriefing afterwards. I'm like, Audra, why was it so slick?
Well, it's not like the cars out there drop any fluids or anything.
No, it wasn't on Sunday.
I know.
We dropped fluid on Sunday.
Well, you know what? I know the 3-pedal mafia just coated the track because their oil, something in their oil, I think it was a cracked oil filter or cracked something, but they just opened up there to go put more oil, and they just opened up their bay, and it was just coated with oil, and they're like, what are you doing? And it's like, shut it off, and they couldn't finish the race.
Oh, that's
oil cooler.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Anyway.
You're out.
All right. So were there any surprises either on or off track over the weekend? Probably Audra's probably got more than Elizabeth because Elizabeth's done this craziness before, but just in case. Not all at once.
No
There's so
surprises. I mean,
much.
it was very nice. You guys are very organized, and I appreciate it. You know, that was very nice having all the tools there. And Vicki, you're great to work with for mechanics. I really enjoyed that.
That was fun.
Yeah.
This race, we were a disaster. So usually we're much better.
I felt like we were missing an entire box of stuff. And it's like every time I went to go reach for it, it wasn't there. And then see, we have three tool cabinets, and I got used to the cabinet that was in the garage. So every time I was going to the drawer, I'm like, it's not there. It's not there. So I was a little bit beside myself, but you know, we were missing a lot of things. So I was a little irritated and disorganized. I was very disorganized, you know, so.
Didn't show you had all the checklists, like we went by the checklist to get things done, and all of that was great. You know, it showed definitely a very high level of organization.
I'm glad it helped.
A cool suit.
Tell me about the cool suit.
That is like substance from heaven.
It felt like air conditioning, didn't it?
It feels like you're wrapped in an air conditioner.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing. Ha ha ha. You know, not to be funny, but that was really neat. You know what I wanted to mention too was how you talked me out of being claustrophobic. That was brilliant. I really, the first time I got in, when you guys got me in on Friday, it was the first time I had been in a Hans. I don't usually have a full face helmet. I'd never had a race suit on before. It was hot as heck. And, you know, you were like with the hands and you're like strapping me in and it's get tight. And then I started I'm like, I am about to panic. I was struggling.
Then we're
and
like, get
the way
out,
you
everyone.
described, that the car is now strapped to you.
Right.
If you're carrying it.
Right.
For whatever reason, that flipped a switch with me and I was able to do it.
Yeah, that was, we had a guest on our podcast and that resonated with me so much because you're not the first person that we've strapped into a car that had a panic attack. And when he had said, I'm not strapping you into the car, I'm strapping the car onto you and you have to be part of the car. You and the car are one. So yeah. And just by you not moving in that seat, you are safer than you are on the street driving down the road. I mean, there's people that have, especially at that track, they have gone headfirst into the wall. Yes, he hurt. I mean, he was probably going off the straightaway and cut right through, you know, but he did damage his shoulder. But if that was in any other vehicle, he would not have survived. So it's definitely, it has helped just by having that person explain it to me that way. So I'm glad that helped you.
Well, it did, you know, when the car died and I had to wait to be towed back in, and I was sitting there and all I could smell was gas. And, you know, your initial impulse is right, just to get out. You know, you pull a total Ricky Bobby, right?
Right.
But it was, you know, I had to calm myself down, and you know, the radio wasn't, I don't think I could hear you, you couldn't hear me, and I was just like trying to breathe. I'm like, okay, it's just your backpack, it's all right, we're just gonna relax in the backpack, we're okay.
Like a backpack. It's like, as I did say that to you, I do remember saying that.
It's Audra the Explorer.
So
Audra the Explorer.
I was going more with, you know, Iron Woman. You know, I've made so many jokes that you couldn't hear when the radio wasn't working. It was so sad.
We heard some of them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
You were very quiet.
Paltrow stuff.
So we're thinking why we really couldn't hear the drivers is that the mic was too far away from the mouth. Because when I was yelling, into it. Bill said, I can hear you now. So I think that the mic was just too far in front of the helmet. So now when we go in there, because we're actually using this new mic set, like not the mics, but the new radio sets and the new antennas. So we're supposed to have a farther reach. And we've only used them for like the last 2 races. Did we use them for I don't think we used them.
Race was the last one with the old set.
Yeah. So we've only had 2 races with them. So, but I think that because there's mics bend, we're going to have to see if we can bend them closer to the mouth to see if maybe we can get more speech from the drivers. So there's a couple things we're still ironing out.
You could hear me, right?
We didn't need a microphone to hear you.
No.
Yeah.
Well, my helmet is perfect for my head and my microphone is right there.
Yeah. So that was pretty good. So another question. I don't know, Jennifer, do you have any questions? I wasn't sure.
I didn't know we were invited to this podcast. I thought this was you.
I'm sorry. I've been waiting
No,
so
I don't
long.
know.
I'm sitting back.
I know.
He's doing an amazing job.
The interrogator.
The interrogator. So I am curious about your post-race hangover. Did you guys experience any of it?
I wanted to get back on track. Like I didn't feel the hangover. I felt like I need to prove myself in that truck. I need another hour and I'm gonna beat Vicki.
Yeah,
No,
you got
no,
shorted
but
you got shorted on Sunday by accident.
Bad math.
Bad math.
My
Yeah.
bad.
I was oddly fine on Monday, but Tuesday, that's when like my hands really hurt. They were
Mhm.
still like they were swollen on Monday. On Tuesday, they were very sore.
Do you remember us telling you every time you're on the straightaway to kind of go like this and just take a breath?
Yeah, I should have done that.
I should have done it.
My
It's-
forearms would hurt the first time I did that race. My probably for the same reason, like death grip.
Yeah. So let's see. Ladies, you guys were all closely matched. So very good team on there. Did you feel like you learned anything driving wise while you were out there? Because you guys got a couple hours of good practice. Between Friday practice, you got about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then on Saturday, each got, hour and a half, 2 hours, and then or 2 hours or more actually. And then Sunday, most of you got an hour plus. Anything?
Well, yeah, I mean, everything after that track walk, I really felt much more comfortable on that track, and I can't wait to get back there.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like, I can drive this track. I
They
mean,
have bracket races there that would
yeah,
you
somebody
could
was
do.
telling me about that.
That seems like fun, especially with the proximity you guys have.
Yeah.
What about you, Audra? Since it was your first time,
I think I'm still processing. I made like 5 pages of notes after,
so
there's
somebody's going to
so
talk
much
on this
to learn as
podcast
far
besides
as-
Vicki? If you read the 5 pages, we might have Vicki be quiet for a second.
I'm bulldozer for a reason.
Page
But it had
4,
weird
item
little
7.
things that I noted too, like visually inspect the next driver. So when you get out, before that next driver gets in the car, take a look at them. We had one time that Elizabeth wasn't completely zipped, and trying to get her zipped when she was already in the seat, it just took way too much time. Like it was too hard. Things like that, and just remember to go pee before you sit up. And chewing a piece of gum while you're driving actually helps to keep your mouth from drying out. Just hydrate constantly, all of these like little things like, oh, and I didn't realize this at the time. And Elizabeth was telling me when we were talking that I could have coming into the pit, like unbuckled everything, had the communicator unplugged and been really ready to get out of the car and not have had to do that when I came to a stop.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have saved a lot of time. So
I
there's
think we
so
can get
many
our
things.
we can get our pit stops down to 2 minutes. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can. We need to practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, I had never done one before.
I
So
know.
I was just like, oh, this is fun. We're doing a pit stop.
Yeah.
It only looked like you'd never done one before. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
I
speaking of
love
the pit,
Oh, just shut up, Bill. It
I-
looked like you never did one before.
I
that.
love the pit
That's-
stops. I get so jazzed for them. Like I
Yeah.
was dancing. I just love it because it's like fast and furious. I love it.
Yeah,
Speaking of the pit stops, how did they go?
Slow.
We had one
Oh.
that they offered us a job because we were there for so long.
I know.
There was that. We had people running out of the stands to help us on
Help
one.
it. We have people helping.
It
Yeah.
was awesome. You guys did great though. So we got a lot of good time behind the wheel. We got a lot of good time playing together. You guys wrenched together, partied together, ate together, basically team bonding. So do we see this happening again? Does Audra hit the racetrack again?
Yes.
Audra.
Audra.
I will.
Did you
find
get a
my way
bite?
Back to, yeah, I did.
Mhm.
Greg and I were having these conversations this week, and I'm like, well, I could actually take my M2 and put a race seat in it and a roll cage.
Could.
Not for lemons, but
Good. You can't drive it on the street though.
we went to look at a house today that has 3,000 square feet of garage space.
Ooh, that's a garage with a house attached.
Right?
So Audra, have we pulled you to the dark side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was way more fun than I expected it to be. It was a lot of fun. And like you keep saying, Bill, you keep picking on autocross for our 60-second runs. It is just so fun to be out there for so long and to be able to go fast for more than 3 seconds at a time, because you're just like that straight, you're just like wee, and a couple of times I hit the rev lever on your truck and I was like, oh, this is great. It was so fun.
Awesome. Well, glad we got another person into the fold. That doesn't mean you can't autocross. It just means it's an and, not an or. And.
Do we see a race suit in Audra's future for Christmas?
And a helmet and and
Yeah.
The ands are good.
Mhm.
So ladies, you each get to answer. Vicki and Jen already answered once, but their answers may change. So do we have a highlight for the weekend? Anything that sticks out?
How well we did. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, sorry.
How well we did. We did so well. I mean, I think 57th, I think, at
Yep.
a 101,
Three.
103. That was pretty good.
We almost hit exactly where we were aiming at.
Yep.
And we did take a lot of stops. 'cause
In
we wanted
class
to get
too.
everybody- We
And our
wanted
truck was in getting fixed.
No
We took-
black flags.
no black
The
flags.
black flag.
Did anybody on the Garage Heroes and training team get a black flag this weekend?
No.
Anybody?
Yeah. I think Bennett did.
Oh,
Or
sorry.
Quinn or somebody got one.
I think Quinn got 2. I think Alan got 1. I think Bennett got 1. But as soon as we find out, we'll find out. There was the big joke was that the SpiderStang thought that each lap you had to come into the paddock that was part of the track. It just looked that way. What about you, Miss
I was
Audra?
so impressed with how, like, you're all so kind. Like, you're the kindest,
Yeah.
nicest people. There was no bickering. There was no arguing. You just got things done. And, if you needed something done, you were just like, can you please do this for me? Like, it was really nice. You all were just so incredibly supportive. Jen, I can't thank you enough. You gave me so much advice before I went out the first time, and that was really lovely. And Vicki, you just amaze me. You're amazing. Everything that you can do. And I was so impressed with you and Elizabeth, like working together. You had never really wrenched together, and you seemed to just like gel so quickly. All of that was just so impressive.
Yeah, it was nice. And Jen, you're great. Vicki, it was just such a pleasure. Bill, I love the feedback. Needed more of it on the track, but it was great. Just
Got yelled
made
at
me
for
feel.
talking too much by Vicki, so
You
had
can
to
talk.
figure it in.
I love to talk.
Well, I like, in my view is I liked how responsive everybody was.
Yeah.
So like if when we needed something or an extra hand, it was there. So it actually was very difficult for me to back off and let other people do work, because I kind of get a little, let's just get it done. But it doesn't help me if I don't delegate work out. So it was really great, and I loved when your friends came and they kind of pitched in and did the, wrenching or just did the, nut and bolt, which was great, which we found our errors when we were doing the nut and bolts. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see her. Yeah. She was my hero that day. So, I mean, it was just really nice. I mean, girls get stuff done. They really do. It's just let's everybody just gets their head down and just plows through. And I could not have asked for a better team this weekend. For Thompson, it was awesome. I love the teamwork.
Oh, and thank you too for your patience with the endless entourage.
Oh, that was great.
Say, were you on the Connecticut board of travel or something there? Because it seemed like anybody who came into the state came by to say hi to you. I'm not quite sure. I saw that billboard.
She had quite the support system coming, and that was awesome. It was so nice that
anything else going on that day.
It was really nice to have all the people come through and just cheer you on. It was wonderful to see that.
It's the autocross community is really just such a strong community. It was hilarious. I was walking through like the garage and the paddock areas, and I heard my name called out, and there were people there. I'm like, oh, you do this? So that's kind of neat.
I'm like, I do now.
I'm in the midst.
For them,
So any memorable cars or teams stick out to you too? Vicki and Jen just kind of punted on this question last time we did this, but anything?
Cordoba.
The big Cordoba. Anything stick out to you guys? Any
There's some wacky cars out there.
There you go.
Yeah, I was hoping to see a lot of crazy cars, and there certainly were, from the chandelier cars. Oh my God. That big, what was that, Cadillac with the giant chandelier on the top?
Fast.
It was fast.
It was fast.
They drove that thing so well. That was amazing.
He was sideways at one point, and he took up the whole track. He was sideways in front of me. It's the whole track sideways.
You know what? That vehicle, when that thing starts coming through, reminds me of a car from Mad Max.
Yep.
Right. And it's plowing through, and I don't know who's behind the wheel. I keep thinking he might have a spiked collar on or something. I don't know, but leather gloves with no.
He does that off track.
I'm telling you what, I just get out of his way, or I put people behind him, or I just kind of dodge him.
Like, how does he know where the back end of that car is? It's so long. I just let him go.
Going. Just keeps like we have a choice in our car, but that car is quick, and they drive it well. The Lementarians, those guys are pretty amazing.
Lementarians, yeah.
So we've got a traditional good, bad, and the ugly. And what did we learn? So what went well, or something we did well, or something that we did badly, or something we wouldn't want to do again? Ugly, I don't know that we had one, but just in case. And then what did we learn, ladies? Can't go to a race and not learn something.
I would say the good was the teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the gelling was, for me, was the good. I think the bad, for me, the bad was thinking that we figured out at home, what the car error was, and thinking that we had it fixed, but then ironing out or hashing out the car on the track, figured out we did not have it fixed. And that upset me a little bit, because I wanted to make sure that Audra and Elizabeth had a really good experience, and I didn't want to deter or take the time away from the track on the vehicle. That really bummed me out. But I got to say, I did not have an ugly at all. I had no uglies.
Did you learn?
What did I learn? That we need to pack better. but we kind of had an existential situation
In what
that kind of
way?
happened right before we left.
Like what?
We didn't have our fluids. If I could do something a little differently, I would, if we're going to have a certain kind of setup that is in the race trailer, I need to make sure that what I'm using in the garage, I can carry over into the race trailer. So I need to go through the tools and going, okay, I need to do this, 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 this. I need to actually put a piece of paper there, say we're missing these things. So when we get back, we have to make sure that we put them back in. Like I didn't have baling wire. And I know we have baling wire. I just don't know why it wasn't in that cabinet.
It was in the cabinet.
I couldn't find it. I literally could not find it. And I think so. We didn't have dikes, and scissors would have been great. I borrowed a lot of things from other people, and I need to make a list of what those things are and make sure we have them. So
Duct
that's what I learned. Duct tape. We didn't bring our duct tape. Yeah.
Electric tape.
Yeah. There was stuff that was just, like I said, I felt like we were missing like a whole container worth of stuff that was essential to us that weekend. But that's what I learned, is I need to make a list and keep a list there of stuff that we're missing to make sure that we have it next time.
I know a guy who keeps lists. I'm just saying.
I know.
Just to him.
Yeah.
What about you, Miss Elizabeth? Good, bad, the ugly, and what did you learn?
No ugly. Lots of teamwork. I think that was just great. Just feeling the support and being part of a team. That's why I like endurance racing so much. I really enjoy that because everyone is excited for the other person and everyone's looking out for each other. And I think that's just the bomb. I mean, I can't say enough about endurance racing. I just can't wait to do more of it.
Mm-hmm.
No bad. I think our pit stops we can beat anyone with pit stops because we're all very good and very organized. And I think once we gel more, if we do another one together, I think we can, our pit stops will be legendary.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary. What did you learn? Did you learn anything?
I learned that for women, spending a weekend driving cars is great. We just work so well together. And I learned the track, I learned the car, and it was pretty easy for me to learn the car quickly. And I didn't think I was going to be able to. A different car, even wrenching on it, all cars are pretty much the same. Like I was like, oh, I know where this is. I know where this is. So that was just very, very nice for me. I felt comfortable helping Vicki.
What about you, Miss Audra? Good, bad, the ugly, and what did you learn?
I think the good, you counted this as a bad Vicki, but during the whole time that you're trying to diagnose the truck and everything, you never outwardly showed that you were frustrated or, having, like, you just stuck with it. You were just persistent. It never showed in your outward, like, mood or how you interacted with anyone. That was pretty impressive. So that I would put that under a good. And everybody expects these things to break down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I guess to me, that's a learned thing that, that's going to happen, and it's all cool, and just that's part of the experience. It's not all about the driving.
No.
The experience is all of these things all combined.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much bigger than just getting out there and trying to do some laps. So that was a great learning. And for Bill, I would say, Bill, you're awesome. You're supportive. You're coaching on the track. But if we ever drive together again, I'll check the schedule for you.
Okay, that's good. Feels bad math. I did the math right. I just had the schedule wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I can divide. I can't read.
What about you, Jen?
Well, we didn't finish, so.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Bulldozer. Anything ugly?
No.
Okay. Anything you learn?
Tons. I like way too much to even digest. I learned a ton of driving on the track, of driving something that is not mine, right?
Yeah.
So I'm so used to my vehicle, and learning how to drive something that it's a pickup truck. It's not meant to have performance, but yet you couldn't get that thing to perform. It was great. Like once you get it was so fun to drive.
Yeah.
It's almost an M2. It's so close. So close.
It was better in many respects, honestly.
Yeah, because if we wreck it, we don't get quite as upset as you would if you wreck your M2.
No, you don't
True.
expect anything
True.
from it, and it gave you more than you expected.
It did
Right.
give you a whole lot more than you expected.
Yeah.
So not that I did the math for you, Miss Audra, but I kept track of exactly how long you were in the car for the entire weekend. And if we assume that your average autocross race is 45 seconds. And
Well,
you
the
do
60 where I go, there's 60. So
okay, all right. Well,
let's
I'm going to be
boost
off
that
by
up
a little bit. And we assume that you do six tries per event. You just did 40 events in one day, one weekend. I'm sorry.
That's a year and a half autocross.
See, it is.
So
It
if we
is.
add up the cost of a year and a half of
It's about the same.
autocross, it's about the same.
What about you, Miss Jen? Good, bad, the ugly. What did you learn?
The good, I think it was a good weekend. It the truck was in the garage, I think initially in the very beginning for a little bit of time, but ultimately it ran really well. It was consistent. I think everybody drove consistent and we kept it on the track, and it was nice. It was a good weekend. Everybody had fun. Everybody got in. I guess the bad is everything that happened before we even got there.
A little bit while we were there in the paddock.
While we were there. It was hot. It was hot.
We had no
Some on
air
the-
conditioning.
No air conditioning, fixing the food.
Some on the way.
No ugly, I don't think. I mean, like I've said in the past, I think that things that go wrong, that are bad, we end up learning from, so they can, there's always something that comes out of it, So, and what did I learn? Every time I go out, I learn something different.
You didn't lift.
I didn't lift, no. And something else new was I fueled for the first time this weekend because I'd never done that before.
Really?
And I did learn that
Yes.
I can go over and get the gas cans because I wasn't sure if I could do that or not. And I'm sitting there and I'm yelling at Bill and Chris and Chrissy, and they're like, "No, we can't help you." I'm like, "No, I don't want any help. I just want to know, can I go over and get it myself?" And they're like, "Yes." So yeah.
Jen looked like one of those dogs with the invisible fence, just looking over the wall, going, I can't go here.
Well,
I need to go here.
So strict down there in the hot pit. Like you do something wrong and they get so upset. So
Yeah.
you don't want to do anything wrong. So you
Right.
know.
Yep.
Yeah. If you don't do any, if you really screw up a hot pit, they'll black flag you and you'll have to go. Yeah.
I think you guys did great. We should definitely have a part 2.
I think we should have a part 2.
10
I,
weeks
th-
away.
I think there needs to be like an official girl car added to ours, because
Wait, I get to go buy a car?
well, the thing is
I have
that the Three Pedal Mafia has 3 teams under their banner, or their team. They all they're all in there. Black Betty is actually Three Pedal Mafia.
3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, the Cheaty's car is Three Pedal Mafia. The little white car that was there that had driver meat on it, that's Three Pedal Mafia. But
Hopefully the Z comes back.
right, but those cars are all run by individual teams that share the Three Pedal Mafia name. And they do that for a reason, is that as a team, there's so many laps that you do or so many races that you do to win something. So
National championship. Yeah.
Yeah, national championship. So they have 4 cars underneath their name to do that. So it would not be bad to have a car that is just all ladies to compete with all the other guys.
You just want to dominate.
I do want to
Yes.
dominate. I really do.
That's it. That's all we
I
want.
really do.
I really do.
Yes.
So I don't know. So anyway, we're just
Yep.
saying that, you know,
I just want to know, can I go buy another car? Is that what I
we
heard?
already have a car. We already have a car.
What car?
Yeah.
I have a car.
We got the Civic coming down. The only thing is like we can't maintain
Multiple.
physically maintain another car. Like Alan's car is Alan's car, even though he's Garage Heroes.
I just need that seat.
Yeah.
We got the same.
seat's great.
We got that seat.
Yeah.
Did you guys? That was one thing on my list. Did you guys like the Halo seat? Now that you finally got to use it.
I like the seat being higher.
I like, yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
not, you said you have that seat, but you have it in the extra large. I just think that seat fit all of us. It was so nice.
Yeah.
I
We
think
didn't
we
have
have.
to-
I think we might have. I'm not sure if we have. I know we have that seat. I'm not sure we have the Halo because I bought it for the Boxster, which we never used. I might just have the regular one, not the Halo seat. So we'll figure it out. We'll do something.
But I would love to race with you guys again. That was a lot of fun.
New Hampshire's 10 weeks away.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to New Hampshire.
No.
I don't think we
ladies.
are. What?
I was told by someone significant other who's on here as Calvi. We need to make a plan.
Or?
What are we doing for the rest of the year?
Well, I know that we're thinking about going to VIR.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Are the ladies going to have a part 2 in New Hampshire? Is the question on the table?
well, the only thing is with New Hampshire, and it's a concern, is that it's in the school year. It's
Oh, yeah.
brutal. And for Jennifer, to get her there, she has to have somebody come in from Florida. And Florida is as Florida does with COVID right now.
Oh, yeah.
So their situation is really not good. So that is a hindrance for us.
Is VIR Lemons?
No, it's a HPDE.
It's just training.
Oh.
It's training HPDE. So it's not as crazy, but some of the same people are going to be there, but it's not as insane. But
So, you know, actually, I'm scheduled to do a ladies' day in New Hampshire the weekend of September 10th. I rented an Airbnb.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure you can still register, and I definitely know there's room in the house.
oh.
Ooh.
Well, is this the same house with the 3,000 square foot garage, or are we talking? A different one?
No, I actually have to formally start doing something to go look at that before it's gone.
3,000 square foot garage. I think I know where we can keep the ladies' car. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. September 10th. Let me check the calendar. September 10th. We are not committed to anything. Ladies. HPDE. Just saying.
Where's that at? New Hampshire?
New
It's
Hampshire.
Canaan.
Canaan. It's a nice little track.
Hey,
Never-
It's yeah.
is it because there's Canaan in Connecticut?
That's New
Yeah.
Canaan.
Oh, that's New Canaan. Yeah,
They might have a Canaan. I don't know.
we can't.
Is it a
we
Saturday,
can't-
Sunday thing, or is it a
It's just Sunday.
Sunday?
Just Sunday.
That
We
makes
But
have
NER
to-
PCA has a
Yeah,
Friday, Saturday.
we have
Over
to
in Tamworth.
discuss it only because we have external factors like children and school and
It's a long drive for you.
It is.
There's a long
Yeah.
drive.
you
Yeah,
know
Saturday
it's a
would've been
long
easier.
drive for us. It's a brutal drive for Jennifer.
Yeah.
You don't worry about me.
Jennifer's talking. All right. Well, we'll have to table that. We'll reconvene. We obviously have the text chain going. We can talk about that.
Audra, VIR would be fun.
VIR.
I love VIR.
You know what? I'm up
I've
for
never been
anything
to
at this
VIR.
point.
No, I've done it on iRacing.
Yeah.
VIR is supposed to be one of the ones you can't miss, Audra.
Oh wow. Well, you've opened my eyes to a whole lot, and thank you so much. This has
Yeah.
been just incredible, incredible experience. And I'm very, very grateful to all of you for it. Truly.
Well, you're more than
It's
welcome.
awesome.
We thought you'd enjoy it. It'll actually probably help your autocross a little bit. And I'm just, the goal was for you guys to get out there and have a good time, and it seems like you did.
It was great. Yeah. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you, ladies. That was quite fun. It was interesting watching you guys and trying to stay out of the way. And I think the biggest thing I did was argue for us to be in C car, which really didn't matter, but whatever. As long as you guys had a good time, mission accomplished, ladies. Awesome job.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
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 Hi, thank you.
Hello, hello.
Hello. How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Good. Good.
Excellent. Should be fun.
Yes.
Have you talked to Elizabeth or no?
Yeah, we did a short debrief
Oh.
last.
It wasn't me.
Sunday. Huh?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. It was not you, Bill. It was not.
I finally had a chance to see your friend's video. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, he did such a nice job.
Vicky's like, he didn't do anything about the races. I said, it's part 1. Relax. You got time.
There will be more. It's really weird having film crews following you around, right?
I just gave up. I said, whatever. Eric was funny. He's like, so what does it matter that you're in C? I'm like, it doesn't matter at all. It's just, that's what they said they wanted. So I'm doing my job.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I can't see you. I don't know what happened. Oh, there I am.
There you are.
Now I'm gone.
Nope, you're here for us. You haven't left yet.
I don't know where I am.
That's okay. Nobody knows where we are. It's post-race weekend. The hangover is real.
Where's Audra?
Poor Jen. I didn't know like what trials she had gone through until I listened to your podcast this week. I feel so bad.
She was a trooper.
She sure was.
Why? What happened? I didn't do anything but work and garage this week. I didn't listen to any podcast. Sorry.
You have better things to do than our podcast.
How did you live for a week without listening to a podcast?
That makes you like the rest of the 8 billion people in the world.
Vicky's stuck.
Looks that way.
But that's a pretty picture.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Looks like she's having fun.
I know.
Either
She's
somebody's
always having
tickling her or she sat on something or not quite sure where we go. So I have a feeling I'm going to be IT for a minute. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm not IT.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm slightly techno-amish.
No, there's no slightly there.
Yeah, I try. I really
I'm
do.
totally stealing that term though.
I don't think your microphone's on.
Okay, let me see. I just want it to be auto and everything just work like when I have one.
Yeah, it sounds like every race car driver I know. I just want the car to work and just go
I
round
just
and
want
round
the
and round.
car
and
to
round.
work. Yeah.
Is that too much to ask, really?
Apparently.
Apparently it is. Yes.
You know, these aren't 30-second races, Miss Audra. You know, we gotta go for a while. So
Yeah, you keep going back to that one, Bill.
you know, it's okay. You know how many years of autocross experience you got from one weekend?
Autocross what?
Years of
Experience.
autocross experience you got from just
Yeah.
one weekend?
Dude, that was a lot of that. I should actually sit down and calculate that because I think that would be really fun to know.
So, how am I doing? You might have to come, honey bunny.
All right, I'm on my way. Jen's coming
All
in.
right. Okay, good.
Hi, Jen.
Hi,
Hi, Jen.
how are you?
How are you?
We have
Good.
been waiting for this. We are so excited.
I know I just had to work on I couldn't focus on anything else. I had to get shit done at work.
Microphone. No. See, you just click here.